Hello, Milwaukee. Welcome to Joshin' Around Milwaukee. I'm Josh Albrecht, and we're here to explore the best of our city, its vibrant culture, thriving tourism scene, and the people making it all happen.
Hey, you know what? I'm Josh Albrecht, too.
Oh, that's right. You are also Josh Albrecht. We have a brand new listening audience that we're very excited to share Joshin' Around Milwaukee in its third season.
Can you believe it? I can't believe we made it through the first two seasons of Podcast World. But I'm super excited because we've been officially radio-fied.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
It means that we are now on the radio.
That's right.
Yes, yes, that is. If you look it up in the dictionary, that's what it says.
Word of the year in 2025 is Radio 5.
Radio 5.
Solely because of Joshin' Around Milwaukee. We're now on the radio thanks to our amazing partners here at 620 WTMJ. We're going to be airing every Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Great new time slot for us to help share great stories about the city of Milwaukee, about the region, about tourism, hospitality, restaurants, attractions, sports, you name it. We're going to be talking about all the things that make the city great.
And you'll still be able to watch the podcasts on all of our social media channels at Visit Milwaukee and the podcast as well on Apple and Spotify.
Yeah, we're going to be able to reach you in any way that you can be reached.
Yes, we will be bugging you beyond. You'll be like, how do I get rid of these guys? But for the people who had never heard our story before, or how Joshin' Around Milwaukee came to be, I thought maybe we would start by telling that story because it is kind of crazy.
It's a really, really fun story about how two Josh Albrechts found each other in this crazy mixed-up world.
Essentially. So way back in 2009, Facebook was all the rage, and I was sitting in my dorm room, and I decided to search for other Josh Albrechts, and 3 of them came up, and one of them happened to be in Illinois, and he accepted the friend request. We never talked. We never commented on each other's photos. We just were Facebook friends. It's what happened in 2009. It was a different time.
Yeah, crazy mixed-up world.
And then fast forward to, 2023?
Yeah, 2022.
2023.
Yeah. So I happened to move to Milwaukee and say to myself immediately, isn't there another Josh Albrecht here?
And I start getting, these emails saying, hey, congratulations on the new job with Visit Milwaukee. And I go, what are you talking about? And I look at this press release and I go, oh my gosh, I know this Josh Albrecht. And we met up and we decided we got to do something here. And Joshin' Around was born.
Like two great Wisconsinites, we met over PBR in Chile.
Yep.
And
Meal of Champions. It got the brainstorms going.
And said, it's about time we tell the great Milwaukee story through podcast.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun so far, and now we're excited to keep it going. But now Radio 5.
Now Radio 5.
That's right.
That's right. Obviously the big goal of Joshin' Around Milwaukee obviously is for us to have fun, but also to share great stories about the community that we live and work in, and encourage people to come have a good time in the city, to explore the city and see all the diversity that we have to offer. And so that's been a big thing for us. And one of the things I'm really looking forward to this summer, the recent announcement was the Harley Homecoming annual announcement coming this summer. The news came out, Chris Stapleton and Hank Williams Jr. Going to be playing at the Veterans Park this summer on the lakefront, July 11 and 12. I've been the last 2 years to Homecoming. Such an amazing event. That's one thing that I'm definitely looking forward to. It's giving me fresh city vibes right now. The city is always on fire in the summer, and Harley Homecoming's a big part of that.
It's very true, and the city is also changing. There's always new things happening. Unfortunately, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up, we did have a sad change that happened earlier in the week. The learning of the passing of Bob Uecker at 90 years old was somehow was still shocking, right? You never thought it would happen, even though we all knew eventually it had to happen. And on the day that it did, I actually went to American Family Field, and there were news crews and a bunch of people out there who were, putting cans of Miller Lite and some flowers and things in his remembrance. But as much as we're looking forward to the snow going away and the cold weather going away and opening day being here, which it will be before we know it, it will be a little bit different of a baseball season this year without Mr. Baseball.
Yeah. Well, I know that I'll be watching Major League on repeat.
Yes, absolutely. So many good one-liners. He truly was the best and represented Milwaukee so well, and we'll miss him.
Yeah. And then, of course, one of the great features of Joshin' Around Milwaukee is that we always have a special guest.
That's very true, yes.
Yeah.
And today we have Chef Greg León, who is going to talk to us about the Milwaukee Flavor Live event, plus Milwaukee's fresh food scene, where to eat, where to explore, and what to add to your travel itinerary this season. So stay tuned. We got a lot more coming up.
Welcome back to Visit Milwaukee's Joshing Around Milwaukee on WTMJ.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Joshing Around Milwaukee. Season 3, we are radio-fied. We're talking about all the great things that Milwaukee has to offer, and one of them, of course, is Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. You could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games, and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs only this January and only at Potawatomi. For more info, go to paysbig.com. Must be 21 years or older to play.
Well, we're super excited here, Josh Around Milwaukee, Season 3, first guest of the year, Chef Greg León, a 3-time James Beard Award nominee. Most recently, for me, very exciting, Top Chef celebrity now.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about celebrity. But
Well, to us.
Certainly
Okay,
to us,
okay.
and certainly for Visit Milwaukee, we were very instrumental in bringing Top Chef to the community. So, loved having you be a part of that. And while I want to ask you about your life and how you became a chef, I have to ask first: how did Top Chef go for you? How was that experience? You were at AmFam Field. What was it like?
well, I wasn't competing, so that was great. It was a fantastic experience. It was super fun. Like I'll go be a judge on any of these cooking shows any day of the week. A competitor, not so much, because it's really hard what they do, and hats off to them because they put out some really great food. I always wondered what's the food going to be like. The food was really, really good.
Yeah.
It was also great to see my friend Dan Jacobs out there representing the city. We're all very proud of what he did, and I'm glad to see he is the face of the Milwaukee food scene these days. But it was a great experience. It was nice to see Tom. I was a little disappointed Padma wasn't there, but Kristen is awesome. It was
Yes,
super nice to meet
yeah.
her. It was nice to meet Gail. The food, again, was incredible.
Did you get I've always wondered as a judge, do you get full having to taste so many dishes? Like, is it a point where you're like, ooh, I know I got to keep tasting, but it's been
Well,
a
they
lot.
tell you not to eat the whole dish, but,
But
we
if
ate
it's
the
so
whole
good,
dish. It was
you can't-
good.
right.
No, we didn't get full. It's also it's not huge portions. It's
Yeah.
not like a sit down dinner. This was it was a sausage challenge. So it was like 2 teams, and they had to cook the same sausage head to head. It was good. The chorizo round was like probably the best.
Did it inspire you to do anything within your own restaurant, Amilinda?
Not necessarily with the food, but it inspired me to be maybe a little bit more active and not so lazy. And be like, God, these people are here cooking in the middle of a baseball field. I need to get motivated to go into my restaurant and cook tomorrow.
Right.
But yeah, it really solidified the fact that I know I do not want to be a competitor.
Nice. Yeah. Well, let's jump back in time a little bit. I did want to ask about your journey to Milwaukee because you've had some experiences. You've bounced from Tulsa to Venezuela, spent time in San Francisco. All of that sort of led you
To Milwaukee, of all places.
Yes.
In 2012, after being in San Francisco for 18 years, it was just time to go. It was time to move someplace else. It was really expensive. I knew I would never own a restaurant with having like 30 people involved in it telling me what to do was just not what I wanted. So my dog and I packed up our belongings and we traveled the U.S. starting in the spring of 2012. One of the first cities I went to was Portland, Oregon. So I was like, I'm going to move to Portland. I love Portland. I had some great friends, looked at apartments. I'm like, Portland all the way. Went back to Venezuela to visit my family, and at the end of the summer, I was hanging out in Oklahoma visiting my brothers. I have a friend from here, and he's like texting me, "Oh, come visit Milwaukee." And I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is. So I looked it up on the map, and I was like, I like the lake part of it, but I'm like, that's really far up north, and I bet it's cold all the time. And he's like, come visit. So I finally came out. I was here for about a week.
And you came in the summer.
I came in the summer,
He
of
did
course.
not come in
I did.
January.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I probably wouldn't be sitting here if I would have come to visit in January. No, I came out at the end of August. It's just like beautiful. It's warm. Everything's green. The people are super nice. Everybody's happy.
Yes.
And we went out to eat to a couple restaurants, and I got here on a Friday. By Wednesday, I was like, okay, this place is kind of cool. Yeah. And then the following Friday, we went to go eat at Odd Duck. And I remember, one of my things was like I want to move to a city where there's a food scene so I can do what I love for a living. And I remember sitting there eating, and I think they had just recently opened, and thinking, oh, this restaurant could be in San Francisco. So I always credit Ross and Melissa for helping me make up my mind to move here. So yeah, I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee's been a great city.
I love that. I always say to everyone, obviously working in Visit Milwaukee, we always say, we just need to get you here.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to Milwaukee, you're hooked.
And that's the thing. Everybody who comes to visit who's never been here, they're like, "Oh, this place is amazing."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So
not
can
so
you-
much in February, but
Well, that's true.
cold.
Can you talk a little bit about, since you first came and visited to now, how much you've seen the city change and the food and the restaurants and that whole culture in Milwaukee change over that time?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's always been like a good food community, food culture in Milwaukee. I think when I came here in 2012, Odd Duck had just opened, so I think it was like the beginning of like maybe this renaissance of like all these younger chefs opening their own places. I know Braze was already open by then, which is great, and so is La Miranda. I mean, he pretty much was a trailblazer in the food, farm to table movement in Milwaukee. But it's great to see, Paul and Lisa opened Good Kind, and you got Vanguard, and I'm trying to think what else opened. Well, Dan and Dan opened Dan. So there are a lot of restaurants that opened around like 2012, 2014. And it's great to see all of them still going strong.
Yeah.
I'm really excited though. There's this whole group of like younger sous chefs and chefs de cuisine, and they're very talented. And I'm very excited to see where the Milwaukee food scene is going to go in the future, because we just, as like the older chefs, which I hate to refer myself as, but the established ones, I guess. We just need to like mentor them and like maybe move aside a little bit and let them take part of that spotlight.
Yeah, that's a big part of the,
It
of
is.
the industry, right?
And-
is that mentorship, that growing.
And I mean, I
educating.
get it. Like this, especially last year and the beginning of this year, but mostly last year, I just turned 54, and all of a sudden I'm looking around the kitchen. And I'm the oldest person there, and I'm like, they're coming to me and asking me for questions, and I was like, when did this happen? Like, when did this happen? So it took a little getting used to, but I think it's a cool spot to be in, to be able to pass on your knowledge to these guys and some females too, some amazing female chefs who are ready to take the city by storm.
Do you see? Is there a certain trend or a certain style of restaurant or cooking that you see might be coming more and more in the future for Milwaukee?
Maybe Mediterranean, but not like Spanish, Italian, more like Turkey, that kind of side of the Mediterranean. Elijah Lorenbach is doing some amazing ramen at Night Wolf. Ethan, my sous chef, does some great stuff on his pop-up. Vanessa Rose is getting ready to do a pop-up at Amilinda. She's got 10 other chefs with her, and they're all doing a course. Yeah, these kids are very ambitious.
Wow.
Yeah, and your restaurant, Amilinda, right on Wisconsin Avenue, heart of downtown.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about
us-
your restaurant. What if people listening, either whether they live in the city and just haven't been there, or if they're listening to this and they're going to make their way here for something happening this summer, why should they be stopping at Amilinda?
Because we're a great restaurant. It's really
Works
that
for me. You
simple.
heard it here,
It's really that simple. So first of all, we opened Amilinda in 2013 as a pop-up restaurant, so we didn't have our own home. Nell Benton was the owner of the National then, and she would let us use her restaurant every Saturday night. So we did that for about a year, and then we moved into our spot at 315 East Wisconsin Avenue, just a stone's throw away from the Pfister, between Broadway and Milwaukee. We're open for dinner, 5 to 9, and our food is inspired by the Iberian Peninsula. So you're not going to come in and get tapas, and you're not going to come in and get paella. We don't do that. We want to showcase the rest of the flavors of the Iberian Peninsula. Early on in my career, I traveled out through Spain. I just loved it, and I loved the relationship they had with food. And then I went to Portugal, it's the same thing. So I was like, let's do a little bit of both. We have a great wine list. It's heart of downtown. Like, it's close to
it's right
everything.
downtown. It's hip, modern. You're in a vibrant zone. It's a cool experience. I love. Sometimes you just got your door propped open, and it's cool.
The
cool
menu
vibe.
changes all the time.
Yeah.
It's a very small menu, but it does change constantly. So you can come in this week and have something, and come in next week, it might be a whole new menu.
And speaking of new foods and new experiences with food, we know that you're also here to talk about Milwaukee Flavor Live, which we're going to do next, right after this. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Visit Milwaukee's Joshing Around Milwaukee.
Welcome back to Joshing Around Milwaukee. We have an awesome guest, Chef Greg León, with us today, and he's going to be talking not only about his restaurant, Amilinda, but also the Milwaukee Flavor Live event.
Yeah, super excited for Milwaukee Flavor Live. Greg, you're going to be a special guest that evening as well, with a host of other local chefs to really showcase our culinary scene at Milwaukee Public Market. That's February 6th. Tickets are available now at visitmilwaukee.org. A wonderful 4-course flavor tasting menu.
Extravaganza.
Yes.
And it's all inspired by the Milwaukee Cookbook
Correct.
that Visit Milwaukee's done, and you're featured in that cookbook.
I am in the cookbook, yes.
What's your flavor?
Our dish, we did sweets. We don't normally do sweets, so I decided to go a little bit out of our comfort zone. No, we did sweets. So we did a caramel custard for the rest. It's really good, and we'll be serving it on the 6th.
Wow, how does that go wrong? Yeah, it's
So do you serve that at your restaurant? as
Sometimes,
well?
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
nice.
put it on the dessert menu.
Yeah.
I might have to do that this weekend now that I'm talking about it on the radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think people coming in from out of town or coming to your restaurant should just be able to just special request it. Like
I don't know
secret
about
menu,
that.
Secret menu.
oh come on.
Well, we do have a secret menu. Well, we're working on it, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can sit at the counter. We have a counter, only 6 seats. So on Fridays and Saturdays, you can sit there and you can trust us and just say, I'll take what they're making, and then we put together a 3-course menu for you. You don't
amazing.
get to choose what it is, and everybody in your party has to order it.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
some rules,
Some rules for sure. Yeah.
but only the people who sit at the counter can get it.
I love that.
I also love that.
Yeah.
The little sneaky stuff, right? It's like
Yeah.
you feel special. You feel like
And then one time,
even though I heard this on Josh
around
around Milwaukee.
Right? Have you had the secret menu?
Yeah, that's right.
and then we come out and cook, and they're like, "No,
Oh,
No,
God,
no, no,
please send
no.
it back.
Absolutely not.
What other cool, fun things you have going on at the shop?
Well, we've got this secret menu thing. We're starting it for this year. At the end of the month, one of my old sous chefs from California is coming out to cook, Alicia Dawn. So we're very excited to have her. Well, there's always Valentine's Day at Amilinda. It's super fun, and you'll impress your partner with your knowledge of Portuguese and Spanish wine. We're doing a couple of dinners with Tables Across Borders, which is when we invite the refugees to come cook at Amilinda. So we're always trying to keep busy.
Man, that's a wonderful lineup. I'm really excited for Flavor Live. Thanks again for joining that evening, February 6th, 6 p.m. Tickets on sale. It's at the Milwaukee Public Market. You're doing the custard, and we've got some other amazing chefs joining you: Adam Siegel, Dane Baldwin, Adam Pollock, Katie Rose, Caitlin Cullen.
Yeah, Justin Ibrahim, I think, is also coming.
Yeah. So many amazing chefs from the region, and the cookbook showcases everything from the city. There's 50 plus chefs in the cookbook. You can see all those at visitmilwaukee.org as
Yeah.
well. You gave a couple of the recipes, right?
I think I gave one.
Just one,
I think
yeah.
each chef gave one, and I think isn't this to raise money to actually print? It's a print,
gonna
do a
help-
print, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to help print the cookbook. So we'll have hard copies of the cookbook, and then other proceeds will go to our foundation, which supports other businesses in times of need. So if a restaurant were to have a flooding or
Yeah.
an issue, like this is our relief fund for small businesses.
That's awesome, and we appreciate that you guys have this relief fund. One of the great things I like about Milwaukee's dining scene is that there's a sense of community amongst all the chefs. So I love doing these events because I get to hang out with my friends and see what they're doing in their restaurant. But yeah, we all try to help each other, and we're all friendly,
Yeah.
which is nice.
I can't wait for it. It's going to be a wonderful evening, and I'm looking forward to that secret menu. It's going to be
Yeah, exactly.
So only Fridays and Saturdays.
So take notes, everyone. Make sure you take notes. And the Flavor Live is going to be on February 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. And for more information on that or to get tickets or do everything, you're going to go to
visitmilwaukee.org.
Thank you so much, by the way, Greg, for joining us today.
Well, thank you for the
It's been
invitation.
Awesome. And thank you, everyone, for listening or watching or being a part of this. We appreciate you guys doing so. For more information or to see past episodes, just make sure to go to visitmilwaukee.org.
This is Visit Milwaukee's Joshing Around Milwaukee.
We are not done yet, everyone. If you're still with us for the podcast versions and our YouTube and social media channels, we got a little bit more to go, and we still have Chef Greg here with us. And we had a few questions. Greg, I wanted to just say, so I am not a chef. I'm not someone who, I know, weird. I know, Josh. See, I set myself up for that. But I just was curious. So, like,
Your
when you
shirt is giving chef vibes.
See,
by the way.
thank you. People appreciate the
That's right.
shirts.
That's right.
I wanted to talk about just when you have people come in and try the food. How often do you have people that go look at the menu and they go, "Well, I heard about this place," but their palates, maybe like mine, are so elementary that it's like I don't even know half of what I'm looking at on your menu here.
That was not the question I thought you were going to ask me. But I thought you were going to ask me, like, how often people come in and then hate the food.
No, that's not possible.
That never
Well,
happens.
you'd be surprised. Go see our review pages.
Well, yeah.
Only because they don't know what they're getting into.
That's what I'm saying. They're ordering things.
Maybe they came in when we were having a bad day.
No, I think it's honestly, that's a good point, Josh. I think it really is the customers, because I feel like I've been in that situation where I've been like, oh, I don't know what any of this is. I'm sure it's good, but okay, I'll try this one. And then maybe it has an ingredient that I hate.
That you hate. No, I get that.
I had no idea.
We'll say maybe 25% of the time it's because they don't know what they're ordering. 25% of the time maybe because we were having a bad day, and the other 50 is because they're a pain in the ass. Maybe.
Yeah, well, could be.
So I'm going to get so much trouble for saying that.
We're off the radio, you know.
Okay, yeah.
It's a podcast only
Okay, then
version,
I can
you
say
know?
whatever. There's
right.
this guy. So our servers, my server staff, the server staff is really good at selling the food. And so, we like to put, not random, but we put cuts of meat or stuff on the menu that you don't normally find at other restaurants. So we have tongue on the menu right now. Tongue is not something that I would have gone into a restaurant. I was like, I want a big plate.
Correct. Yes.
But my servers are really good at selling it. And I'm so confident that ours is so good that people leave like, oh my God, this is my first time and I loved it. I'm going to come back for this. So we get a lot of that. A lot of like, I've never had this before. This is the first time. I was scared of it, but your server convinced me. I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're really good about walking people through the menu. And we try, when we describe the items on the menu, we try to not like use crazy words and make it too wordy or anything.
Do you have one like sort of safe menu item that's like, okay, if
You can
someone's a little worried, the chicken fingers are on
Right,
there too.
right, we got two strips.
I would say maybe the steak. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably where I'd go.
Yeah. So like right now we have steak, we have beef tongue, chicken, the vegetarian entree, and then we have these pork steaks that are really good. It's from a pig in Spain that runs through the forest and eats wild acorns.
Get out of here.
And
Is
it's
this real?
delicious. Yes, it's delicious.
Is that real?
Yeah.
How do you know?
It's
How do you
real.
know? Do they got
He
cameras?
sources it.
So they just say this one pig
Well,
here, this
the
pig.
dude's
I
not-
saw him. He had 12 acorns on the 19th. I made a
It's like
note.
showing up. He's like, check out the pig's Instagram. You'll see him eating acorns.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, how do you know? How do you know the life of the pig?
I trust the farmer. I trust the guy that's selling it to
I
me.
trust the farmer too.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not saying
But
the
no, I
farmer
get what you're
lied.
saying.
I'm just, it's very specific information on the pig.
People are really picky about their food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
That's
can see that. I mean,
incredible.
obviously, you always hear that, right? What the animal eats is going to determine its.
And with the
flavors.
advent of the internet,
Yes.
everybody's an expert and everybody loves food and everybody knoes a lot about food.
Of
My
course.
favorite thing is when people come in and be like, well, you know what you need to do.
Oh,
And when
yeah.
we first opened, it would drive me crazy. But then I understood this is coming from a place they care. They want us to be successful.
Sure.
But I would look at them and say, look, is that how you do it at your restaurant? And then I would just look at them. And of course they don't
Mic
have-
drop.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to go back to the kitchen.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody's a food critic.
Of
Everybody
course
knows.
they are.
So the more information you can give them,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
happier they're going to be.
Love
Yeah.
it. Last question that
Sure.
we wanted to get out to you, and we love to ask everybody this is, what's giving you fresh city vibes? Milwaukee's a city on the move right now. A lot of cool things happening. A lot of momentum and energy. What's giving you momentum and energy right now? What are you experiencing in this city?
Seeing the restaurant busy, and I thought it's really selfish, but this is our busy part of the year. So it's nice to, walk through that dining room and you see it packed and everybody's happy and laughing and drinking, and that's what's giving me city vibes right now.
Yeah, love it. And with that, as we get towards the summer, things are really heating up. Is there a special summer activity that is a hallmark for you? Summer
I
fest?
just like to be outside in the summer, like with as little clothing as possible. Not that I'm walking around naked, but jackets and sweatshirts. This is just not my vibe, and I love the city in the summer. Like I wish it could be summer every day in Milwaukee because it's just amazing.
We would be so tired.
We would be
'Cause
so tired.
We
and
go so hard.
and
for
it
those
would be
4
so
months.
expensive to live here too.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, because there's literally something to do every single day.
Multiple things.
I
You
or
can't.
just,
You
or
can't.
just eating out, going
Yeah.
out to eat at one of the sidewalks or the patios
I
or beer
just,
gardens. And,
just walking around the city. I'm not from here. I have no connection to the city, and I love the city. I can't say enough good things about Milwaukee. It's an amazing place, especially when it's hot outside.
yeah, love it. Well, I hope those listening start planning their vacations, get their hotels booked, go to visitmilwaukee.org and plan out a great itinerary. And no matter where they go, what they do, hopefully they all stop by.
I hope so.
Enjoy a little
Come
secret-
have dinner at
secret
Amilinda.
menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Fridays and Saturdays.
Secret menu.
That's right.
But we're open
after
Wednesday
lunch.
through Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just can't get the secret menu.
No.
Well, thank you
but
so
you
much.
can get the steak.
You
Yes,
get the steak.
You can get the steak.
And the beef tongue.
And you can get the beef tongue as well.
With
Yes,
the
that's
pig.
right. Or the pig with the acorns.
the pig
right.
with the
Yes,
acorns.
that's right. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And we appreciate everyone who decided to watch, listen, or follow us as we started Season 3 today. Thanks so much.
Thank you for the invitation.